We're joined by Lorenzo Ice Thomas.
Can I get some crowd? Can I get a crowd? Some applause or something? Can I get something?
Lorenzo!
Yes. Those cheers are for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being merciful to my Miami Dolphins, because you know they could have put 50 on us. They could have put 50. They surely could have, and they decided to take a knee. They could have put 50 on us.
It was bad, Lorenzo.
Yeah. Well, it was a bad fourth quarter. Let's put it that way. Or like the last quarter and a half, it's when it really got bad, because they did, score and make it 24-17, and that's when Brady said, "Okay, all right, I'm done playing around with you guys." And then he was throwing bombs. When they tied it up 24-17, he was throwing bombs. He was going deep, and I think I know why he was doing that.
Why would you attribute that to?
Well, let's go back to when Tom Brady first decided to leave the New England Patriots, right? Uh-huh. And if you remember, he was on LeBron's The Shop. And there was a time he was quoted. He's on video saying that he never told us which team he was talking about. But if he wanted to get back at Bill Belichick, he wanted to stay in the AFC East. Now, when he was looking at free agency, he was looking towards going to a warm climate, right? He ended up going to Tampa. Right. But he had a conversation with someone. And that someone, I believe, and rumor has it that it was the Miami Dolphins, and he said to them, probably to his friend Brian Flores, who he has a relationship with, "Oh, you're going with that mother blank." That. And he was talking about probably Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? So, if you think back, that's another bad move that no one is talking about. The Dolphins could have had Tom Brady, who wanted to take it to Bill Belichick twice a year. You could have still drafted the quarterback who had a broken hip. Let him sit on the sideline for the entire year. Let him learn behind Tom Brady. And what would have this Dolphin team looked like last year if they had Tom Brady instead of Ryan Fitzpatrick? So now, we know Tom Brady always needs something to keep him motivated. He just said, okay, let's just go ahead and check that box. Miami Dolphins didn't want me, so I decided to go to Tampa Bay. That's when he came out in the second half. He said, "Oh, I'm going to put it on them." Started throwing bombs because y'all didn't think I still had it. So what did he end up doing? Throwing for over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. This is to say to Stephen Ross, to Chris Greer, his friend Brian Flores, you could have had me on your team, but now you look like trash. And I'm going to go ahead and attack all of these guys that are supposed to be pro bowlers and shut down corners. I'm going after X. I'm going after Byron. Oh, yeah, and I know that Jerome Baker can't really cover backs out of the backfield. I'm going to attack him as well. Oh, yeah, I'll go after Coleman and Nick Needham as well. But he specifically attacked every single player that is considered to be a baller on that Miami defense. Normally Xavier Howard has problems covering speedy wide receivers on crossing patterns. And that's exactly what they did to him. Because he doesn't have the speed to keep up. Diggs, they didn't put him on Diggs last year in Buffalo because he didn't have the speed when they're doing them to keep up with them. Some receivers, he can let him get ahead and then he can catch up, and that's when he makes those interceptions. But I remember that quote on The Shop when Brady said, "Oh, you're going with that mother?" And yesterday he said, "I'm going to let them know that they effed up."
Yeah.
And that's what he did yesterday to the Miami. Applause, Jeff, because no one else has said that. Applause. Give it to me. Give it to me. Let me hear it. Thank you very much. Yeah.
In a major way, man. And I'm telling you, man, Tom Brady looked like he was pissed.
Oh, yeah, he was. He wanted to play. No, just imagine that.
Lorenzo.
Just imagine that. He wanted to get back at Belichick in the worst way. What better way to come down to Florida, which he did,
Yep.
No state taxes, all those years where you were taking pay cuts so they can sign. Now he didn't have to worry about taxes. He would play against Bill Belichick twice a year and be able to put it to him. And the Dolphins were like, no. Basically, no. And the Dolphins were coming off of that Week 17 game where they defeated Belichick and Tom Brady. Week 17, they basically knocked him out of getting the bye, and instead of having that playoff game at home, they had to go on the road. So they saw Brady up close and personal, so they're figuring, okay, maybe he has lost it. So he picks up the phone off season. I'm going to become a free agent, calls Brian Flores. Is like, hey, Chris Greer, what's going on? Try to come. Now we're going to stick with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, y'all staying with that mother? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? All right, well, let me go on down here to Tampa and win the Super Bowl for them.